He's a beast. 6'7", 237 sophomore from Madera. And then you got Andy Meier, one of the seniors. He's 6'7", 235 from Parker, Colorado. His parents are probably listening over there, so give him a shout out right now.
Big shout out to the Meier.
Start early to the Meier family. And last but certainly not least is senior guard Kyle Knudsen, 6'3", 180 out of Tualatin, Oregon. Head coach Rich Ryder, 16th year, assisted by Jeff Daines and Bob Massell, who have been here right by his side pretty much the whole way. And Kyle Cagley and Josh Thieves round out the coaching staff for the Kingsmen. Cal Lutheran again, 9-10, 3-5 in SCIAC. So hoping again the Caltech win from they've won 82-40. Hoping that kind of is the start of things to come the rest of the SCIAC. The La Verne Leopards coming to tonight's game, 6-13 overall, 2-6 in the conference. Knocked off Cal Lutheran by 5 at France Athletic Court inside the Super Tents. Starting lineup for them, number 2, Jake Beath, 5'8" freshman from Chino Hills. Number 10, Matt Hyde, a senior guard from Wailuku, Hawaii. Number 21, Billy Nicolini, a 6'2" senior from San Marin. Number 24 is Michael Thomas, a 6'4" junior from Orange, California. And number 34, a 6'6" sophomore, Austin Napolitano from San Dimas, California. So a local product for the Leopards. The head coach for the Leopards is Rich Reed, and he is assisted by David Ing and Ryan Turcott. So that's your starting lineup. And, you know, both these teams are fairly solid teams, despite what the eye is seeing with the records. But you know, it'll be a competitive game. Both these teams have a lot on the line tonight. And the first game, as we mentioned before, La Verne defeated Cal Lutheran 66-61 back on January 13th. Let's see, Woodland and Napolitano combined for 34 points, which was pretty key to their victory, along with the 13-3 in offensive rebounds margin and 34-17 overall. So the big men are going to have to get some boards. There's going to have to be more hustle. I think that's pretty much, I mean, we said, you know, look at the records. It's not necessarily what it is. If you look at the stats from that game, that is what it is. So we'll see what happens here.
That's why they call it a game. We don't write in the scores.
So AK for the Kingsmen wins the opening tip, and he's got the ball at the top of the key. Grimm dribbles top of the key. Looks like the Leopards are running a zone early. He dishes it off to Fisher. Fish looks to Kyle. Kyle Knudsen, that is. Back to Fisher, top of the key, back to Grimm to the left. Meier working for position. Ooh, Kyle looked like he was going to take a deep three. Knudsen drives with the layup, overshoots it. But Fisher gets the rebound. It didn't hit the rim, so they got to put one up. And Grimm hits a downtown three-pointer.
Great way to start the game.
That was another zip code to start. So hopefully he can keep that momentum going for the Kingsmen. They get the early lead 3-0. Knudsen guarding Nicolini up top. Matt Hyde in the paint, lays it up and in. There was some contact too. He initiated it, so no call, but he gets the layup, and both teams score on their opening possessions. It's 3-2 Kingsmen, 1 minute into tonight's ball game.
They're playing a 3-2 zone.
Yeah, the Kingsmen are going to have to be able to shoot or get inside. And they got inside of AK. The coaching staff thought there was a little contact, but nevertheless, the Leopards get the ball in transition. Nicolini with the layup, and La Verne takes the lead 4-3. So the Leopards bluff trap, then they go for it. Grimm dishes it off to Knudsen. Knudsen one-on-one with Nicolini. He drives and is fouled on his way to the basket. Looks like the foul will be called on Billy Nicolini, his first of the game for both teams. Knudsen is an outside threat, so teams basically need to respect his three-point shooting, and he'll take advantage of that. He'll give you a little pump fake, stutter step, drive in, get some contact, and he's a solid free throw shooter, so he'll be able to knock those down. I'm glad he did on command, or else he would have made me look a little bad. Knudsen's a 79% free throw shooter on the season as he ties the game with the front end of 2. And he goes for the second, and it's good. So the Kingsmen retake the lead 5-4. It's a fast-paced back-and-forth battle to start, and Jake Veith brings the ball up for the Leopards. Dishes it on the top of the key for Nicolini. Knudsen guarding. Passes back to Veith on the left side.
Weak side, AK, weak side.
It's inside to Napolitano. They're going to keep a big eye on him. He had a big game against the Kingsmen last time. He drives right, lays it up and in. So it's 6-5 Leopards.
Run 2.
Leopards look to trap. Grimm dishes off to AK. Back to Knudsen. Looking for an open Kingsman. Goes back to Grimm on the right. Guarded by Hyde. One-on-one. Dishes it to Fisher, top of the key. Meier wide open. Fisher finds him. Meier gets fouled on the way up. Fouls on number 24, Michael Thomas, his first. And Meier was kind of an open receiver on a blown assignment, as you'd say in football. He was waiting for the ball.
But they're playing that zone, and they collapsed on it real well.
Sure.
I mean, they banged them up, you know.
So Meier misses the first of two, shooting a little over 60% on the year. I'm sure everyone's told him he's got a little side spin on his free throw, but he doesn't care. He knocks the second one down. What works for you, works for you. So he's better than a 60% free throw shooter, as he showed on that second one. And he ties the game up at 6-6. Beath goes to Napolitano. Beath with the ball, Grimm guarding. Napolitano working for position. He's got the elbow up around Meier's neck right now. Meier ducks under it. He's got the ball one-on-one facing up. Nicolini guarded by Knudsen. Dishes it in to Thomas. Thomas guarded by AK. Up and under, no good. AK with the rebound. So we'll do our best to keep a stat track on the rebound margin as Meier lays it up and in. Giving the Kingsmen an 8-6 lead. The nice dish from Grimm. So 3 minutes in. It's a high-scoring affair. It's 8-6 Kingsmen. Once again, in the first matchup, the Leopards were able to dominate the boards, and that contributed a major part to their 5-point win. So as long as the Kingsmen are able to maintain a somewhat balanced rebounding margin, I think they'll be in this one until the end. Napolitano from deep doesn't go for the three. Dishes it off to Beath. Beath knocks down a long two, and he ties it up. That was more of the shot clock expiring.
Yeah.
Nothing really worked out, and he took it into his own hands and made a nice shot. So Knudsen calling the action, dishes off to Grimm up top. AK sets a pick and gets the ball. He's dribbling, he's putting it down like a point guard. And he lays it up and in from the sideline. So there's a lot of made baskets going on here, not too much defense. They're breaking down the zone, I guess, would be more appropriate.
Yeah. That they are.
Napolitano to Veith. Veith to Nicolini, guarded by Fisher. Nicolini inside to Thomas. Thomas from the paint, inside and good.
They look like they have a really strong game down in the paint, La Verne.
And that's kind of what happened last time. You know, their big men were able to take charge, which is kind of surprising when you have AK and Meier for the Kingsmen. So the Kingsmen turn it over. Hyde gets the steal, gets it back. Looking to take back the lead. Veith calling the play. He's dribbling. Goes to Nicolini. One-on-one with Knudsen. Matt Hyde comes around. Ooh. And he lays it up but gets fouled. Not sure if it's the contact or the block. They call on the block. Grimm's a little disappointed with the call. So it's the first foul on the Kingsmen. Grimm's first as well. It'll be Matt Hyde, the Hawaii native, at the line, shooting two. Looking to give the Leopards the lead here. And he does successfully. So Javon Nettles checking in for the Kingsmen. And Tyler Hoyt for the Leopards. Javon Nettles earlier this year had a breakout game, making 5 threes. Can't remember the opponent, but I'm sure the opponent remembers him.
That was some game, and it was against Whittier, if I'm not mistaken. Either Whittier or Pomona.
One of those two teams. Yeah. Oh, I believe it was Pomona.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with that. So Pomona will keep an eye on him next time. Nicolini checks out, and Schum checks. No, that is not Schum. It's Trevor Woodland. Trevor Woodland checks in. And the Kingsmen will have an eye on him as well, as he had a pretty solid game the last time these two teams faced off. Back to the action. Nettles dishes it off to AK. That was a fortunate little deflection by the Leopards. They were on it, but somehow.
Did he get an assist?
Yeah, he definitely get. Well, yeah.
It's a known goal.
Knowing how the stats work, Javon will probably get the assist, and that was a nice pass. It was a good look, but it was a fortunate roll for the Kingsmen. So Matt Hyde creating some space, dishes it off to Woodland. Veith gets the ball, gives it to Hoyt, who misses the jumper, and Knudsen In transition, dribble drive, dishes it off to Grimm. Fakes the three, goes to the top of the key, looking for Nettles, the three-point specialist. They got another deflection, but the pass goes through. Knudsen drives, AK with the layup, and it's good.
Very nice.
That was some great ball movement by the Kingsmen. They're up to 14-12 with 14-12 remaining here. Inside Gilbert Arena, the Kingsmen leading the Leopards. Veith to Woodland. Woodland inside to Napolitano. Looking to pull the trigger. It's one-on-one. Van Claveren guarding. He spins. AK gets the rebound off the miss. It was a good move. Just a little short on the shot. Ooh, Knudsen crossover. Sideline. And he misses. Napolitano with the board. Meier trying to snag it on the backside unsuccessfully. Veith, left side. Goes to Hyde. Veith with the ball. Left side. Goes to Napolitano. Fakes the long jumper. Meier screen. Nettles picks him up. Layup. And it's good. And I feel like deja vu. It's tied up again, 14-14 here. I think both these teams, even though Coach Dane said they don't think about it that way, I think both teams might be realizing that this is a kind of a do-or-die mentality game. The fact that they need to use this game as a launching point for the rest of the way. Meier from deep is true. The assist from AK. So the two big men on the outside, and Meier drains it.
They double-teamed in the corner and just left Andy wide open.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they know the range of the big men here. AK and Andy both have one or two three-pointers on the year, and they're not afraid to take those long jumpers. So here we go. 32 is Tyler Hoyt. Misses it. Nettles skies for the rebound. And the Kingsmen looking to extend their two-point lead here near the midway point of the first half. Knudsen dishes off to AK. Van Claveren to Grimm. Meier bodying up, faces up, looking for somebody to pass to. He says, I'll do it myself. Passes to Knudsen, fakes the three. Now he goes back to the drive. Spin move to the paint. Short on the layup, gets his own rebound. Tries to put it back up, and in.
That is pure desire. Pure desire.
So Leopards head coach Rich Reed not happy, calls an emphatic 30-second timeout. I was going to say, I think Knudsen's looking for the contact. It looked like that first shot, the spin move,
That's
it looked like
sure.
that was the easier of the two, and he comes back and makes the more difficult defended shot to give the Kingsmen a 4-point lead.
That's for sure. But, you know, we got started talking just at the end of just before the game started. And we're certainly, as we're going to invite you over on a weekly basis, the Maria Sanchez show.
Okay.
Is going to be run right out of the university studio here, and we'd like basically to invite you over and on a weekly basis give an updated report, you know, on all the sports here at Cal Lutheran University.
You know what they say, I have a face for TV, so.
You do.
I mean, a face for radio. I ruined it.
No.
I try to be self-deprecating.
I understood that, but you see, I would have said it, so.
Folks, that is not what I meant at all. I apologize.
Come on, man.
First day on the job, and
we're finding a new career for you, man.
Face for radio is what I meant to say. Okay, so the Michael Thomas with the dribble drive to the baseline, and he makes it. So in the meantime, the Leopards quickly cut the lead to 2 off the timeout. Checking in for the Leopards is number 3, John Leggett. I believe that's the only new Leopard in the game. Meier spins baseline, misses it, and Michael Thomas gets the rebound. Andy Meier gets a swipe at his head inadvertently. But Thomas gets the rebound, stops, pops, and gets the friendly bounce for the game-tying basket here, 18-18 with 11:20 to go. Face for radio, definitely what I meant to say.
I understood that.
All righty, so back to the action. Van Claveren dishes to Knudsen. Soloed up with Nicolini. Meier comes up for the screen towards the top of the key. He rolls, gets to the right. Woodland on him. Hoyt on him. Nettles for 3. They're making me look at 3-point specialist right in the corner. That's where he made most of them against in that Pomona game.
Yep.
So John Leggett with the ball, bringing it up. It's Tyler Hoyt. Andy Meier bodying him up. Hoyt spins baseline. Jumper off the board, off the rim. Grimm with the board. In transition, Grimm to Meier. Meier lays it up and in. And one. Quick transition. Knudsen, as soon as he got the ball, was looking up the court. Found Meier streaking for the layup. Gets the and one opportunity. Fouls on number 21 number 24, Michael Thomas, his second. So,
well, that's what a good man-to-man, strong man-to-man defense will do. You start getting those breakaways as you make an intercepted pass, and you got that guard running down the court. And we have a timeout, which will give us a little bit more time to talk about how proud we are to announce that we're opening up our brand new internet television broadcasting studio at the River Park Executive Suites in Oxnard. And a couple of the shows that are going to be, we're going to be doing the Robert Ferguson Show, one of the most well-known health and fitness trainers in the country, as he brings his diet-free life experience to all our friends. So tune in every week starting in early March, where we'll be doing the Robert Ferguson Show, the Maria Sanchez Show, and we're going to be doing a daily show, Scott, Meet the Boss. Lee Elder, who's the voice of the Kingsmen that we're sitting in for right now. And Lee, if you're listening to the game wherever you are doing your racing announcing, we miss you. But Lee's going to be the host of Meet the Boss, where we're going to invite local business owners into the studio, and we're going to do a 10, 15-minute interview with each of them and hopefully create a directory so that the viewers that are watching all our local sports will get a chance to meet. And if you remember, Cal Worthington Ford. We're going to get everybody to meet local business.
The commercials are awesome.
Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal.
If you don't know Cal Worthington's commercials, you're missing out.
Well, we're going to hope that Meet the Boss achieves the same thing for some of the business owners here in Ventura County.
And Lee Elder, by the way, you mentioned him earlier. Great guy. Enjoy working with him. He's normally here where I'm trying to fill in for him. I know I'm no Lee Elder, will never claim to be, but great guy. So don't miss that show. That'll be good. In the meantime, Andy Meier sinks the free throw, so he converts the and one. And for the Kingsmen, number 2, Xavier Walton checks in, the X-Man, as Lee Elder likes to refer. And on the Leopards' possession, traveling to call. So the Kingsmen get the ball. They're up 6, their largest lead of the game, just before the midway point of the first half. And X brings it up for the Kingsmen. Knudsen to Fisher. Fisher, jumper is no good. Leggett skies for the rebound and is bringing it up court for ULV.
Really fast-paced game.
Definitely.
Yeah. Tempo is, and it's helping the Kingsmen, the fast pace.
Most definitely. Their transition game is proving to be beneficial tonight. Offensive foul and turnover on number 34, which is Austin Napolitano, his first. Javon Nettles with the ball, waiting for the rest of the Kingsmen to join the party in the front court. X up top. Javon gets the ball, passes into Andy Meier, passes to Nettles and in. I think Meier was waiting for the cut.
I was watching Javon. He just gave a fake to the left and just cut right in, and Andy hit him with an easy layup.
We were saying earlier, little defense, a lot of offense. When the score was 18-14 earlier, as Woodland airballs the baseline jumper and the crowd's letting them have it. Kingsmen were 7 of 11 from the floor. La Verne 6 of 11 from the floor. So whether it's little defense or hot shooting, maybe a little bit of both at this point.
Oh, nice play.
Knudsen baseline up and under, uses the rim to his advantage, and he lays it in. It's 28-18, 10-point lead, first double-digit margin of the game in the Kingsmen way. So Woodland has the ball, dishes it off to Napolitano, back to Woodland, top of the key. Every time he gets it, he's hearing it from the crowd. Leggett drives towards the baseline. He gets blocked by Meier, and Fisher grabs the ball. Now, that's definitely a height disadvantage. Leggett 5'8", Meier 6'7". Meier definitely used that to his advantage on that play. Javon Nettles for 3. Off the back iron. Hustle rebound by Nicolini. Gives Leopards possession. It was a good look. It was right where Nettles made the first one, just didn't go down on that attempt. Leggett to Napolitano in the far corner. Nicolini for 3. They give him the 3. It looked like his foot was on the line, but my eyes might be faulty a little bit. It's been a long day. It's been CLU Sports Fest today, in case you missed it. Andy Meier gets fouled big time. Nicolini was more of a desperation foul. Knew what eventually was going to happen. and they say it was not in the act of shooting. So subs will come in for the Leopards. Veith, Hyde, and I believe Alex Wolpe is checking in for the Leopards. And let's make it 4 new Leopards on this near line changes. Jonathan Bastos enters the game. And Knudsen goes up, hits the backboard. The Leopards are able to scramble and get the rebound. Matt Hyde comes up. There's bodies flying everywhere. And out of all the chaos, they're going to call a foul on number 10, I believe, Matt Hyde.
He just put his head down and ran right into X.
Either the floor was slippery or bodies were flying everywhere. Not really sure, but
Looked like a football play.
seriously. Well, we have a football score as well. 28-21, Kingsmen lead. Up 7 here. Up a touchdown, I suppose. The layup no good. And Schum gets the rebound. Dishes it off to Veith. Veith right side. Screen by Schum. Pop from the top of the paint. It's up and in. So Veith knocks down the jumper. It's a 5-point game. 7:20 here left in the first half. Inside Gilbert Arena on a Saturday night. Pretty packed house here on the far side bleachers. Gray Grimm dishes it inside to Fisher. He's blocked out of bounds by number 5, Jonathan Bastos. Fisher not happy there's no call on the play. Fisher's usually the one dishing those out. Fisher's got the hops, but Bastos had the altitude on that one. Grimm looking for the pass, gives it to Walton deep inside the front court. Dishes it off to Grimm, guarded by Bastos, who got the block. Grimm drives baseline, and Hyde knocks down the pass but can't control it, so it'll be Kingsman ball. Exactly 7 minutes to go, 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Up 5, looking to pad the lead. And Grimm is trying to dish it to Knudsen, but just goes off the knee. Oh, actually goes off the foot. So more recent rule change is when it's below 15 and the shot clock gets reset, it just goes to 15 instead of the full 30. Grimm saying his shot was blocked. He's saying there's no way I could have missed the shot by that much unless it was tipped, but to no avail. The Leopards try to get it in early, and they take advantage of somewhat of a sleeping Kingsman defense. Hyde goes up and gets fouled by number 34, Kyle Knudsen, his first, and Matt Hyde returns to the line.
That's only the second personal foul for the Kingsmen in this half.
Well, and he got fouled on the first one and made both free throws, so I'm sure he's hoping to repeat it, and does. So he's 3 for 3 from the line, cutting the lead to 4. And here he comes, spins it in his hand. The lefty is true. And Meier's a late sub, gets checked in. He goes in for the X-Man, Xavier Walton. So, A.K. Aaron Van Claveren will pass it into Grimm. Grimm guarded by Veith in the backcourt. 28-25, 6:45 and counting.
Outside!
Knudsen at the top of the key. Meier sets the screen left, gets the ball. Oh, he shoots for 3. He was feeling it off the back iron. And Bastos gets a rebound. Bastos is hustling a lot. Couple rebounds, playing some solid defense off the bench.
Since they made that switch with the 4 players, they've cut the lead.
Definitely. He's leading this reserves group that's getting the Leopards back in. Down 1 possession. Hyde faked the game-tying attempt. Goes up. Knudsen catches an elbow on defensively, but I think he'll take it as the Leopards come up empty. Grimm driving. Dishes it backhand to Fisher. Misses the layup. Fisher gets his own rebound, lays it up, and he misses. And the foul's on number 10, Matt Hyde. Could be his second personal. Fisher wears his emotions on his sleeve, safe to say. Was hoping that one would go in as he's doing some uniform adjustments. He'll shoot the first of 2 coming up. Love the passion.
Yeah.
I'm sure the coaches do as well. And it's true. So the Leopards will sub in a couple. Not sure they wanted to because, like you mentioned, Bob, that reserve group is doing very well.
Yeah.
Fisher on the season, 77+% free throw shooter. Makes his first, I believe, yes. And he makes the second. So he's probably around 80%. That's pretty solid for the Kingsmen.
Fish has been a good mainstay of this starting group.
Well, I was going to say, actually, now he's starting. Before he was coming off the bench for quite a while, so maybe some adjustments. Usually X is that fifth starter, but maybe some adjustments he saw that needed to be made from the original meeting on January 13th. So Napolitano airballs it, and Schum saves the rebound, but it goes to the Kingsmen. So now the fans have their choice of two different players they want to shout airball to on shots. Meier,
Wow.
the pump fake worked, and Meier's a contact guy. He loves that stuff. So he loves when photos are taken of him in really aggressive positions.
You see this face afterwards, it's like, okay, let's get outside.
So he's bent over a little bit after that.
Yeah.
He's
He
feeling
got hit
the
pretty
effects
hard.
of that. Yeah,
He got hit pretty hard.
I figure if you're going to foul him, you better make sure he doesn't make that basket. Put him at the free throw line. So he misses the first of two. Trevor Woodland checking in for number 14, Brian Schum. So Meier at the line, leading scorer of the game with 8 points, looking to make it 9, and he does.
Fisher's trying to work on the referee.
Oh, he always is. Beef looking for somebody to pass to, top of the key, down 6. So they got Woodland shooting for 3, off the front of the rim. I was going to say, he probably won't airball that one after the last one when the fans are making him hear it. So Grimm with the ball to the right. Handoff from Meier back to Grimm. Meier looking for somebody to dish it off to, and he does to Knudsen. Knudsen to Fisher. Meier posting up, calling for the ball. Double teamed, finds Knudsen, finds AK. Van Claveren goes up, and he's fouled. So the big men are getting inside, getting deep position, and if they can knock down some free throws, they can pad this lead.
Well, there's quite a disparity in fouls, and that could have an effect later in the game. That's the 9th foul for the Leopards, and the Kingsmen still only have 2.
It's a great point. It's 9-2 in fouls, 10-4 in free throw attempts, and the Kingsmen, who are usually shoot around the mid-60s, are at 80% for the game. So AK and Andy have been struggling as of late from the line, but they're looking pretty solid so far this game. And in that first meeting, they were not AK. As a team, they were 10-19 from the line. So, and as I say that, unfortunately, AK misses the second for the Kingsmen. Nevertheless, 7-point lead, under 5 to go in the first half. So the Kingsmen looking to rebound and knock down some free throws and keep this lead in their favor. Ball out of bounds, pass from Bastos, deflected by the Kingsmen. Leopards will keep the ball, 22 remaining on the shot clock. Matt Hyde returns for Bastos. Bastos putting in some productive minutes for the Leopards. Lay gets in, dishes it off to Nicolini. He got fouled, hence the awkward shot, but apparently the bank's open today and he'll take it for 2 and possibly and 1.
You got that one. And once again, I'm going to give out my phone number, and anybody out there watching wants to text message us, 805-824-1534, and we'll give you a shout out.
And Nicolini misses the and 1, AK with the rebound. Knudsen finds Fisher for the alley-oop layup. So that was kind of a 3-point swing there with the Leopards missing the free throw, and in transition, the Kingsmen able to take advantage. So it's a 7-point lead. Leggett driving right. The defense sloughing off Woodland. Nicolini gets the rebound. Knudsen has it, goes off his fingertips out of bounds. So this will be a third opportunity on the single possession for the Leopards to score. Almost so Hyde able to draw the foul. They call the foul on Van Claveren, who's not thrilled about it. His first, team's 4th. You never know sometimes, not to accuse anything, but sometimes it's been known where if it's somewhat of a discrepancy in the fouls, maybe calls might go one team's favor. You never know. I'm not accusing this. This is a great officiating staff, but there were a lot of people that were kind of curious about that one. Nevertheless,
I thought the 5-second count was pretty
I agree.
Close. That to me would have been the call.
Originally, that's what I think both of us thought the whistle was for, but nevertheless, it's Hyde for 3. And Andy Meier gets the rebound, taps it to himself. So, okay, a little harm, a foul instead of no harm, no foul. And unfortunately, the Kingsmen, after that rebound, turn it over. Hyde, the coast, the easy layup. So the Kingsmen are trying to take advantage and kind of backfires on them. So now they're up 5, under 4 here in the first. There would be a media timeout on the next stop of possession if we were doing that, which we might next year. Fisher goes to Meier, left corner. It's good. And Rich Ryder calls a timeout. Ryder, known for the offensive score timeout immediately following. That is a Ryder staple. So don't be. Why did they do that? It's Ryder's deal. He's been around for a while, so he knows what he's doing.
And you watch coaches on the sideline, and Coach Ryder he's just class.
Oh, cool.
You watch
cool
the way
customer.
he handles
Very
everything.
Cool
okay, just pure. But so who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl tomorrow, Scott?
Well, I believe the Colts are going to win, but I think I used to be a diehard Saints fan, and just with everything that happened, with the unfortunate situation with, the Hurricane Katrina and how it affected the community, and the Superdome was kind of that place of refuge for all those people who, lost their homes and everything. So,
we're all rooting for the Saints, and everybody at Fox Sports Grill is going to watch that tomorrow and probably be doing the same thing.
So, but Peyton Manning and that Jim Caldwell, rookie coach, and Peyton Manning is, this is his way to cement himself as like one of, if not the top quarterback ever to play the NFL, at least in my humble opinion. So.
Well, you see, we'll have to have that discussion outside of this basketball game.
Most definitely. While having that discussion, the Leopards take it to the basket and get fouled. Matt Hyde, I believe, is the only. No, he has 4 of the team's 5 free throws, and we'll have 6 of the team's 7 following these 2 attempts. But he's fouled by Kyle Knudsen, his second personal. So the Flying Hawaiian will have 2. So Kyle Knudsen comes out with with 2 fouls. Don't want to get him in foul trouble. And Hyde at the line knocks down the second. He knocked down the first as well. Bastos and Tyler Hoyt checking in for the Leopards. It's 36-31. 3:19 to go here in the first half. The Leopards trailed by double digits. Were able to come back, continue to cut the lead. Got it down to 5 here. Fisher at the top of the key, dishes off to Grimm. Grimm dribbles right. Leopards back in the zone. Fisher, right corner. Nettles, always a threat from deep. Fisher inside to AK. He's double teamed. He doesn't care. He lays it up off the glass and in. So Aaron Van Claveren has 9 points. The big men, Meier with 11, Van Claveren with 9. They've got 20 of the team's 38. That's more than half. Tyler Hoyt dishes out to Leggett. They're going around the arc. Back to the top to Hoyt. Nicolini to Thomas. AK giving him some room, so Hoyt drives, dishes to Leggett. Leggett drives sideline, baseline. Misses, and the flying putback by Bastos. Bastos just continues to hustle. And it's paying dividends for the Leopards. You may see him getting some more playing time here in the second half. But we still have 2:13 left in the first half, so. Aaron Van Claveren, jump stop, up and in. So he and Meier with 11, the leading scorers of this game. They're keeping the Kingsmen in. The first meeting, Meier only had 4, so he's already done well, or is well past his effort from the original meeting. And Van Claveren nearly matched his with 11, and he had 13. Wow. Nicolini side baseline jumper. He had the bank shot earlier. He's got the rim to backboard to rim shot. It's like he's been taking shooting practice here all along. So he's enjoying Gilbert Arena tonight.
I know math doesn't lie, but it seems like they have the highest shooting percentage.
Javon Nettles from the corner. He likes that spot. Fisher gets the rebound, lays it up and in. So Fisher not frustrated anymore. He gets the offensive rebound putback. And again, football score 42-35. Leggett drives right, goes to Thomas. Thomas pauses. Jumper is good. So the big men showing some range on both teams tonight. And we're under a minute. 42-37, Grimm coming up to the front court. These final possessions of the first half could prove to be momentum builders towards the end, or towards the start of the second half. And Meier gets the pass down low on the baseline from Grimm, gets trapped, uses a 30-second timeout. Probably a smart move. I mean, not to say I called it, but it's crucial possessions here in the final minute. You definitely want to make the most of it. Or, if you get a rebound, second chance points, you don't want to, they've been up 5 or so throughout the later part of this first half. You want to at least maintain that possession or possibly pad it going into halftime.
Especially at this time. It would be nice to increase the lead and be able to go in there and make some preparation. Although the Kingsmen, this half, have really pushed to get the ball down in the paint, and they've been converting. The defense has, they've been strong, but La Verne has had a great inside game too. So the balancing out has been the difference maybe in the free throws that Kingsmen have been taking also.
The Kingsmen 8 of 11 from the line, the Leopards 4 of 5, so both shooting well. But the Kingsmen more opportunities, and Greg Grimm knocks down a little side one-handed jumper from the paint. So and that was good. They'll get a 2-for-1 here most likely unless the Leopards shoot right now, which they do. And it's Tyler Hoyt who knocks it down.
Right back at you.
They won't get the 2-for-1, but they do cut the lead to 4, which is the closest it's been in a while. So most likely Grimm and the Kingsmen will wind the clock down to within a few seconds here. And they do. Leggett putting a little pressure on Grimm deep in the front court near the timeline. Grimm going left. Ryder asking him to go. Grimm somehow gets the mad scramble. And Aaron Van Claveren gets a last-second layup. That shot won't count if it goes. And the Kingsmen lead by 6 at halftime, 40-10. Like I said, 6 for 6 from the line, 2 of 4 from the field. Let's see, Jake Veith with 4, he's 2 for 2. Hot shooting from most of the starters. Veith 2 for 2, Nicolini 4 for 5 for 9 points. Michael Thomas 4 for 5 for 8 points. Napolitano 2 for 4 for 4 points. The bench scores, Hoyt with 3 and Bastos with 2. Bastos, maybe not a stat sheet filler, but he's putting in some productive minutes, doing some intangible work that you would not be able to record necessarily on the stat sheet. So 46-40. The rebound margin, which is something we were kind of wanting to track as the game went on. Cal Lutheran, 17 rebounds. That's how many they had in the first meeting. They already got it in the first half. So out-rebounding La Verne 17-14. And, yeah, little defense, hot shooting.
If you looked at the stats, it's an even game. I mean, both teams are shooting just a little over 50%.
Most definitely, there's not really any discrepancies between the two that you can notice. A couple more free throws, a couple more made baskets, and that's really about it.
That's where the 6 points are.
That provides the margin right now. And the teams are getting set to return for the second half. It'll be the original Cal Lutheran starting lineup on the court for the second half. Good crowd tonight. Good crowd.
It feels it. You know what I'm saying? Even behind us. We could feel it.
Sure. Well, I'm looking now. So there's definitely probably the most people we've seen at a game.
Really, really nice
tonight. So it's good. Yeah.
And you know what I see? A lot of kids.
Most definitely.
That's the beauty of it.
Students are back in class, so they, on a Saturday.
I meant even the younger kids from the
Most
community.
definitely as well. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think kids are only a few years younger than me. They're not really kids. So.
See, everything's relative, man.
So the Leopards try to take a shot early. Michael Thomas lays it up off the front of the rim. Kingsmen get the rebound, which wasn't said very much in the first meeting, but is being said tonight. So Grimm looking for somebody to dish it off to. Meier fakes the long jumper, dishes it left to Knudsen. Knudsen inside to a driving Fisher. He's playing around with it, dishes to Knudsen. They're passing it around, swinging it all the way across. 4-man to Grimm. Crossover, dishes to Meier. Meier all the way across to Fisher for 3, and he drills it. So that's a good first possession for the Kingsmen. The Leopards come up empty. The Kingsmen push the lead to 9.
That's a tough pass.
That is a very tough pass. If you can make that pass, you kind of see what the rewards you reap are, and that was it. So Nicolini drives. Fisher playing good D. Leggett fakes the shot, dishes to Nicolini, doesn't even think about the three, and he airballs. So 3 different Leopards have airballed. So the fans
we got the courtside seats across the street, across the way, and most of the students are there, and it's that old air ball.
Meier jumps, passes in midair. Fisher, it was tipped away on the shot, but they get the rebound. So AK 6 of 7, and he makes it, but they call the charge. So I think Fisher did the complaining for AK's. AK flexes down the court, and rightfully so. The 6'7", 237 forward from Madera. You know, not saying he might be like a Shaq-like equivalent in the SCIAC. Just he's a beast. He's a big guy to be around. But there was probably some contact, but he knocked down the La Verne defender pretty easily on that attempt. So instead of an 11-point lead, it's 9. Leggett with the ball left, around the back. He's all over the place, but can't find any open space. Thomas dishes off to Napolitano, who dishes off to Leggett. Leggett goes right around the back. Thomas drives, 7 on the shot and counting.
Takes it away.
And Nicolini calls for the tip. He let the pass go, but denied by the officials. So it's going to be Kingsmen ball. So not very many turnovers to start. There's been a couple already with the offensive turnover by Van Claveren and then the errant pass by the Leopards. Fisher drives, dishes off to Knudsen. Won't attempt his first 3 of the game. Knudsen dishes to Grimm. Grimm looks inside to AK. AK shoots. And he makes it and 1. He was pretty pumped. He's not necessarily your most emphatic guy, but he even gave a little fist pump on that one. So he'll go to the line for the and 1. Schum checks in for Thomas, who picks up his 3rd just over 2 minutes into the game.
Well, they're getting great penetration down into the post.
Most definitely they are.
And they're converting.
Well, like I said, earlier, I mean, it's not me, it's the stats. They're 7 of 8 and 4 of 6. So math majors will tell me that's 11 of 14 from the field as AK knocks down the and 1 opportunity for a 12-point lead. They lead by a dozen here, 2.5 minutes into the first half.
That quick math calculation's got to get you another extension, Scott. One more.
Maybe in front of the computer it will. I don't know about on air. As Leggett drives, he gets fouled. So fouls on Aaron Fisher. So it took the Kingsmen had 2 fouls for a while in the first half. They have 2 already here.
They got to play strong defense now.
Definitely.
That's what's leading to, and like everything, defense always makes your offense look better.
Well, in defense, that's true, but they didn't need the defense in the first half. Neither team played much of it.
Step up, Fish!
Hyde almost passed it inside, thought otherwise. Nicolini drives. It was an early bump. It was a late foul call, but I feel like it was the right one in my humble opinion. So they call the foul on Knudsen. Believe it's his 3rd.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Nicolini at the line. He's going to shoot a pair. And Nettles is probably going to check in for Knudsen.
Coach is going to have to take him out. You don't want to lose him now.
Knudsen frustrated with himself, walking to the backcourt. He already knows. He's a senior. He's been around the block. And he misses the first, does Nicolini. Beath checks in for the Leopards. As we said before, Nettles in for the Kingsmen. So Knudsen will most likely sit for a while with 3 fouls. Nicolini drains the second. Back to an 11-point game. AK passes into Grimm, and he'll bring it up the court.
Stronger the Kingsmen can make, the longer he can sit on the bench.
Well, there's an article by Ventura County Star Zone David Lassen, who is here tonight for the game as Fisher misses the layup. Knudsen's just like the Energizer Bunny. He'll play 38 to 40 minutes on average a game, and so not only is he frustrated with that, he just does not like coming out of the game. So Napolitano with the ball up top, looking for his next move. Schum goes up top. AK denies it. Hyde saves the ball, but gives it up to Fisher of the Kingsmen. Grimm. As you can tell in Bob's They call the offensive foul on Grimm. It looked like the defender was still shuffling his feet, but nevertheless, the foul's on the Kingsmen.
Forgive me, I must be partial. But that's okay.
That's completely fine. So the fouls and the turnovers on Greg Grimm. Questionable call at best, according to Bob Allen, which is a mutual feeling, we'll say. Nevertheless, Nicolini passes off to Napolitano. They're looking to take advantage of the Kingsman turnover. He dribble drives, and Meier blocks him. So the big men getting blocks on back-to-back possessions. And the crowd's getting fired up with all the blocks and the air balls by the Kingsmen and Leopards, respectively. 9 seconds left on the shot. Veith calling the action. Jump shot on the right side, off the front of the rim. AK with the rebound. And he leads the Kingsmen with 7 rebounds and 16 points. And they call an offensive foul again on the Kingsmen.
15 fouls.
So Fisher will do the complaining. AK will get the calls against him, and the bench will stomp their feet in disgust.
Well, that's his 3rd foul, too. So all of a sudden we were talking where there weren't many fouls in the first half, and both Kyle and AK have
3 apiece. Not good, but they're going to leave AK in the game. He's just too dominant of a force right now. Too big of an impact in this game. So Hyde will dribble right. Veith gets the ball. Veith dishes to Schum. Schum looking for his next move. Stand outside.
La Verne seems unnerved a little bit.
Napolitano loses it, gets his own. And they're going to call, oh boy, they're going to call a foul on Fisher. He's already emphatic about other people's fouls. Can't imagine his own. Trying to keep his cool. So now 6 fouls on the Kingsmen already. And we're only
15 minutes left in the half, so.
So there were only a few called in the first half. There was 5 fouls on the Kingsmen in the first half, 6 already in less than 5 minutes. So the crowd trying to get the Kingsmen defense into it, and Nicolini drains the 3 with Nettles in his face. Rich Reed jumps onto the court, wants the timeout, uses the patented Ryder move. May have to pay a small fine for using Ryder's move on that one. Just kidding, of course. But the Leopards cut it to single digits here, 52-44 with just under 15 left in the second half.
Gives a little chance to help support some of our sponsors, and certainly one is the River Park Executive Suites, where we now have our new internet television studio. And if you have a home-based business but really would like to appear a little more professional, or if you work in the Valley or Los Angeles and have clients in Ventura and Santa Barbara counties and would like a nice office space in the middle of the area, in Oxnard, River Ridge Executive Suites has something for you. 45 single furnished offices for lease in a first-class building. Great freeway access, including phone, fax, internet, and a nice receptionist to greet your guests. And this is also where we are going to be broadcasting the Robert Ferguson Show and Meet the Boss. So we hope everybody will watch some of our new shows and support your local businesses. And now back to the action.
In the meantime, I feel like I've been leaving out Kevin Baxter and Eric Zeiger quite a bit.
We don't want to leave out Kevin.
Well, Lee is known for giving us some pub, which we don't necessarily desire, trying to be behind the camera. But since we're in front of the camera today, we might as well have it. So Kevin Baxter, Eric Zeiger giving us some stats up to that last possession. It's 52-44. The key, which Mr. Baxter looked up earlier, the Kingsmen, when they score 70 points or more, 8-1.
Wow.
When they score less than that, they are 1-9. So as well as they scored, or as much as they scored in the first half with 46 points, you would assume they're going to get to that 70 mark. La Verne gives up 70 points a game. So that is definitely a benchmark, or most likely will be. So Grimm is forced to shoot with a couple seconds remaining on the shot clock. Fisher hustles, gets the rebound, doesn't hit the rim with the putback, but gets the foul. So that was good shot clock awareness and hustle. So Fisher will go to the line for 2. Fisher's 2 for 2 at the line tonight. Around 80% for the season, and he switches the first one home. So John Wilson checks in for the first time for Javon Nettles for the Kingsmen. In SCIAC play, John Wilson has played in 4 games. He's averaging 1 point each game. He's a hustle guy. He'll give you some good productive minutes off the bench as Fisher misses his first free throw of the game. And it's a 9-point game.
Solid, John!
Woodland guarded by Fisher, dishes it in Napolitano. Meier bodying up. Napolitano dribbles to the paint, backs out, jumper, fadeaway jumper's no good, and there's Wilson with the rebound.
Great rebound, really got up there.
So Grimm dishes it off to Wilson. Wilson to Meier, Meier to Fisher, Fisher to Grimm, working around, swinging it up to the top of the key. Grimm looking for somebody. He's guarded heavily by Veith. Into Meier. Meier one-on-one with Schum, dishes to Fisher at the top of the key, guarded by Woodland. Fisher pulls back out, under 10 on the shot. Fisher drives left, dishes to the paint, to Wilson. Wilson to Grimm, and Grimm misses, but AK gets the rebound. Van Claveren looking to go up, passes it out. He's got to be careful with 3 fouls. And now the foul goes the other way as Nicolini gets a couple elbows into the back.
Scott, we got a little shout out, and you got a compliment. He's in Parker, Colorado. They say you missed your calling as an announcer.
Oh boy!
Well,
so I'm assuming you mean the Meier family.
The Meier family is really happy that we're showing this.
Great. Well, Meier family, thank you for that text shout out. Appreciate it. As your baby boy, very big baby boy, misses the shot, gets his own rebound though. And that kind of hustle will get you to the free throw line.
That sets the stage for the rest of the team. When everybody sees that kind of hustle.
Well, and that's an intangible you can't teach. You can't go, hey, I want you to go hustle more.
Yep.
You can say it, but you can't just execute. It's an innate skill or trait that people have. So
when Andy got hurt at the end of last season, and he hurt the knee and he couldn't play those last couple of games, we had him sit in with Joe Butita, and I've listened to that game. The young man, that's one of the things he's going for.
Does his passion come through as
very much so.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if it's just basketball, because some people on the court are completely different on the court.
No.
I mean, when I see Meier around the campus, he's great. He says hi all the time. Very cool customer. But I'm figuring when it's somewhat competitive or he wants to perform well, he's very passionate about it, wants to be the best.
Yeah.
So he knocks down the second. It's a 10-point ball game. And the crowd's letting the Leopards, 3 different Leopards who have airballed it during the game, feel it. Although that's kind of rare because they're shooting so well.
Yeah.
It seems like it's an all or nothing kind of deal, I guess. It's either in or you miss completely. So Veith dishes off to Bastos, and Bastos misses the 3 short. Fisher skies for the rebound. And that's his 5th of the game. 10 points, 5 boards. He's usually pretty consistently around a double-double per game. And getting more minutes off in a starting role. It's quite possible he may improve on those numbers. Wilson passes off to Meier. Meier inside to AK, but a foul committed inside by Alex Wolpe.
Yeah. He got his arms in there.
Kind of reached in a little bit, trying to get to snatch the pass away. John Leggett returns in for Veith. And Van Claveren will take the ball out of bounds. Looking to pad this 10-point lead with 12:36 remaining in the second half. Grimm goes up, fakes it, tries to dish it to AK, but goes off Van Claveren's hands out of bounds, so it'll be Leopards ball. So the major scoring threats for La Verne, Matt Hyde and Billy Nicolini with 10 and 13 respectively sitting on the bench right now. Van Claveren, Meier, and Fisher leading the team in double figures with 16, 12, and 10. And they are all on the floor. So this could be a time when the Kingsmen make a run, pushing their lead even more. So Wilson guarding Bastos. Bastos drives left, lays it up and in. It was just a good pass on the cut, and Bastos took advantage of that little edge he had, and he cuts the lead to 8.
That was the first easy basket that the Leopards have had in a long, long time.
Quite a while. Grimm into Meier. Meier dishes out. It's tipped away. Bastos tries to get it. and fouls Wilson in the process. And that's the Leopards 6. So both teams will be in the 1-and-1 bonus, pending, a defensive or a loose ball foul.
Well, they got Van Cliburn without picking up that fourth foul, and now he's put back Carl Knudsen.
Yeah, they might be switching out the rest of the game and just be careful. Don't commit any silly fouls. Not that they were before, but just be more aware. Knudsen dishes off to Fisher. And he goes to lay it up, and it's fouled by Wolpe. So Wolpe comes up with the block, denying Fisher of his 12th point. Wow, Leggett crossovers Grimm and goes for the layup and in. So the speedy Leggett, that was, he left Grimm standing there in the paint and took advantage. So it's a 6-point game, 11:25 to go.